Ha perso contro un grande campione. Noi quanto prima dovremmo sentire il confermato campione del mondo che ha indossato.
Calls the principals into the center of the ring. This again is for the Continental America's Super Welterweight Championship. It's 12 rounds. Let me tell you a little bit about it. It's the arm of the WBC, which is the USA, Canada, Mexico, and all of the Caribbean, Central and South America. In other words, the champion really half the world. You must have 10 fights to be ranked here, and if you become champion, you automatically are ranked in the world rankings. You saw the tail of the tape. And there's a big difference here in height for Julian Jackson, 3 to 3.5 inches taller. Ron Warrior's a couple pounds heavier. Julian Jackson's 3 years younger, and he has 1.5 inches in reach, which is a big difference here. Julian Jackson in the red trunks, Ron Warrior in the blue trunks. Julian Jackson, undefeated, ranked 4th by the WBA, ranked 6th by the WBC. Ron Warrior from Okmulgee, Oklahoma, 4 times Golden Gloves champion, 1979 Army welterweight champion. That's the all-Army welterweight champion, so that's a pretty good title to hold. And 131 amateur fights, so he's a good one. Julian Jackson expected to be really the strong wrestler here, and he's starting out that way here in round number 1. Julian Jackson is a smart, patient type of fighter, although 8 of his 18 fights have ended inside of 2 rounds. He's only had to go 5 rounds twice and 6 rounds twice in his career. He's undefeated, 18-0. A good one from St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands. That's Julian Jackson in the red trunks.
Both of them are starting out very smartly right now, using their jabs, trying not to get hit with anything wild or anything like that. And Julian Jackson is picking shots with his jab, throwing the right hand. Ron is trying to be very careful not getting hit with his right hand. Flipping very nicely.
Real nice job slipping those punches, Howard. You know, the tendency that we saw when Brandon went after Pinklin Thomas, you know, when you have a guy that's ranked ahead of you and whatnot, is to try and maybe slug it out. But I like the way Ron Warrior is starting out here.
Very smart. He's using the ring, using lateral movement, picking his shots. He's trying to be very careful not to get hit with anything.
And for you folks that are watching at home again, you may have seen Julian Jackson before in the red trunks from the Virgin Islands. He is just really possessing all of the tools that a champion needs. He has the great speed of his hands, his great foot speed, his total ring awareness. When he gets hit, he knows how to cover up. He doesn't get hit too much. It'll be interesting to see if Warrior can get to him at all. Right now, Jackson in the first round is using his reach advantage and his height advantage to try and get through with a left jab. Warrior really hasn't done anything too much here except catch punches in round 1.
Well, he's trying to avoid not getting hit and trying to figure out the best way of getting some punches in. I think he's doing an excellent job so far.
Inside of 10 seconds to go, and this is the first round of the championship fight. Present working on him. Julian mentioned, I thought it was very interesting to hear in the opening conversation with Julian Jackson that it doesn't bother him. He's from the Virgin Islands. This heat doesn't bother him at all. You wonder about the humidity and whatnot up there in Okmulgee, Oklahoma, whether it's enough to have one Ron Warrior in the type of shape it'll take to keep going in this fight.
Well, Bob, humidity in Oklahoma is quite different from tropical humidity. It's a lot more moisture in the air, and it tends to zap your strength.
So then what you're saying then, in spite of the fact that Julian Jackson does have the advantage because he's used to training in this real deep humidity.
He definitely has the advantage. And I hope that Ron Warrior came here early enough to get acclimated to the weather.
All right, let's see how he does. Ron Warrior looks so much to me like a small Joe Frazier. It's incredible. He has really the appearance of when he smiles. It's unbelievable.
He looks just like Joe Frazier. Built like him and everything.
His head and his hands aren't quite as busy as Smoking Joe's, but he really has the look alike.
Yes, he does.
This is round 2, scheduled for 12. Continental America so he says, I don't know any other way to fight.
Well, right now he's smart and intelligent fight. But what he's going to have to do sooner or later is really fight if he wants to win this title.
He's going to have to force some more, but right now he really is showing a lot of respect for Julian Jackson. Jackson getting smart, like you suggested in some of the earlier fights, working downstairs. He clips Jackson with a left hook.
Right now he's just taking shots. Maybe he's expecting Julian Jackson to get tired. Maybe wear himself out.
I wouldn't depend on that, although we haven't seen Jackson go beyond 6 rounds before, so that would be interesting. But I'm sure they have him trained for 12 rounds. He works out in St. Thomas, handled there by Sustin Zalay, who does a great job training him with Russell Mandel, who looks after him very carefully over there. Halfway through round number 2 now. And a hot humid night in the Roberto Clemente Coliseum. Go ahead, Hans.
Julian Jackson looks like he's in great shape. His body looks thin, he looks trim. Muscle tone is great.
You know, when you in the position I am covering fighters, you get you have your favorites, and while Julian Jackson has become a real favorite of mine, I get to meet one warrior this week. And it's very tough when you're a commentator to not root for both guys sometimes, and that's the way I feel tonight. Although I just feel that Julian Jackson is such a gifted athlete that he has the advantage over a real tough, aggressive Ron Warrior.
I never seen Ron Warrior fight. I had the pleasure of, good right hand. I had the pleasure of meeting him this week at the DuPont Hotel. He seems like a nice fella.
He's married, has 4 kids up there in Okmulgee, Oklahoma. Again, he was an all-Army champion, and you know for fighting the amateurs yourself, when you have some of those amateur titles, you've got a lot of years and a lot of experience in the ring behind you. He's had over 131 amateur fights.
See if that experience pays off. Good body shot.
Inside of 10 seconds to go in round number 2. This is round 3 from the Roberto Clemente Coliseum in San Juan, Puerto Rico. The 12-round Continental American Super Welterweight fight. Julian Jackson, Ron Warrior. I'm Bob Sheridan, along with Howard Davis Jr. on the Don King Sports and Entertainment Network. Julian Jackson in the red trunks, Ron Warrior in the blue trunks. It's a good one so far. Ron Warrior has come to fight. He's been cautious in the early going, but Julian Jackson is trying to pick up the pace here in round number 3.
Right now, Julian Jackson's just doing what he wants to do. He's just taking control, complete control. And I think Ron Warrior is going to have to do is start taking control also if he wants to win this fight.
I don't think that Ron can wait to see if Julian Jackson is going to run out again. I just don't see it. You pointed out the factor, and I think anybody watching at home, you don't need to be a boxing expert or a fighter like yourself or a commentator like myself to see the great shape that both of these guys are in.
Definitely. I've seen Julian Jackson run in the morning on the beach, and he has constant speed when he's running.
And if you can run on that station.
Oh, definitely. I've been running in the sand since I've been here, and it's very tough.
So things going Julian Jackson's way. We're just waiting to see. Ron Warrior didn't win the All-Army Championship by catching punches.
Right now, he's just pot-shotting Ron Warrior.
Do you think he's just showing too much respect the midway point here in round 3?
I think he is. I think, Bob, you got a point there. He is showing too much respect. When you give a fighter too much respect, he tends to take advantage of it.
It just appears that Julian Jackson is so much stronger than Ron Warrior.
Just determination. Very determined.
When you see a guy young in his career, like I saw Julian Jackson down here in San Juan a year ago this past winter for the first time, and the first time I laid eyes on him, I said, that kid's destined to be a champion someday. You know, you could just see he was a little raw at that stage, but he's developed so much in a year's time. Carl King is doing an excellent job along with Russell Mandel, handling him and picking fighters for him to fight to develop his career. He's doing a great job.
If Ron
Warrior better answer some punches here, or the referee could step in. He should grab on and go down and take an 8 count, or at least start throwing some punches.
That's it.
And just as I said, if you don't answer to some punches. The referee, Ismail Quinones Falou, who has plenty of experience, moves in, steps in, and stops the fight. It'll be scored as a third-round TKO. Kind of a lackluster finish to the fight, but it was all Julian Jackson. Ron Warrior, just in the middle of our conversation, talking about he better start throwing some punches. The referee obviously was thinking the same thing as we were.
Yeah, well, you know, he didn't throw anything back. He gave him too much respect. He gave Julian Jackson too much respect, and Julian Jackson took advantage of it.
All right, here's the flurry that ends the fight. There's 1, 2 unanswered punches. There's 3, 4, and 5. Still Ron Warrior hasn't thrown anything. 6, 7, 8,